happened? What happened in this game, board chair? What happened in this game?
Because I messaged you.
Yeah.
When that second goal, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? What a goal. I'm like, here we go.
Goal. It was. Look,
Wrap
honestly,
it up.
That first goal, we were playing through them. We were having our way with West Ham. Honestly.
Is that his OnlyFans?
Seriously. We were having our way with them.
Have your way, mate.
Seriously, they couldn't get a touch of the ball, even have a sniff. It was like 70% possession Arsenal in the first 10 minutes. And we had 2 goals and 2 really well-worked goals within 10 minutes.
I like the first one. It was sloppy defending, but I like the first one.
Yeah, Ben White's ball into Jesus. Keeper just misses.
But even the ball before that, the ball from I think it was Odegaard to Ben White.
Yes,
that was
played it through. Played
it through. The run was right on time, and then it was a well worked goal. You got to appreciate that kind of stuff.
Oh look, to be perfectly honest, the whole game was looking like it was going to go that way. It was going to be
first 11 minutes looked like it was going to go that way.
Yeah, first 11, yeah, and then there's the pen.
And then. So let's go before the pen.
Oh, let's go before the pen.
Where your fan base is talking about that guy that's better than Casemiro who tries to do a little flick in the middle of the park.
Thomas. I'm going to get into Thomas Partey. No, look, Thomas Partey in this game had a horrible game. Yeah. Thomas Partey had a bad game. Kieran had a bad game. And everybody was saying, and this is the thing, right? Everybody comes at Zinchenko. Oh, Zinchenko can't defend, but Kieran. No, wait a sec.
I'm with you.
Kieran Tierney, he doesn't offer much going forward, Steve. He doesn't offer much going forward,
but
Steve.
Defensively,
okay, but defensively, he's so much better than Zinchenko. No, shut the fuck up. 4 fucking passes in the first fucking half where he gives it to West Ham. 4 fucking passes. He hands it over to West Ham. And it's like, but he doesn't offer much going forward. No, he doesn't. He's playing Zinchenko's position. He's trying to get in between the midfielders. He's calling out the Jacker, pass me the ball. There's 2 fucking players there. He's not shifting. He's not making a run. I'm just going to stand behind the defenders. Seriously.
Where's the whiteboard?
And then no, seriously. And so, we see... I'm still trying to figure out all these big Arsenal fans out there. They've got this fucking hard on for Kieran Tierney. He can't do no wrong. Now, I'm not going to blame Kieran Tierney for everything in this game. But the only reason I'm coming hard onto Kieran Tierney now, like a cunt, right? No shit, is because everybody sat there and they fucking hammered Zinchenko. And don't get me wrong, Kieran Tierney is a decent left back. And I like my left back to be a left back. But I understand why Zinchenko plays in the position that he does. I understand why he's our left back. Now, I hope these Arsenal fans can get their head out of their asses and realise we're not playing fucking 4-4-2 anymore. Those days are gone. You understand? 4-4-2 is dead. Arsene Wenger bought 4-3-3 in here, and you guys were all excited about it back in the day. And now we are playing with an inverted left wing back.
Is this the pressure board?
No, it's not the pressure. I get the shits with the fucking KTs in Zinchenko.
It was Orthodox Easter, mate, cracking the eggs.
Serious.
Arsenal's on that.
And so I've had just about enough of that bullshit with the KT fucking chat. So now I hope everyone can see that KT, unfortunately, is not going to be the answer to all your fucking dreams. But Thomas Partey, on the other hand, in this game, if he doesn't get a 3 out of 10 for his performance in this game, that would be me being nice. He had 12 minutes of absolute wonderful football. I'm watching him control the midfield. And then he decides, you know what? I'm just going to go to sleep. Declan Rice, all right. Allows Declan Rice to have his way. Now, don't get me wrong, Declan Rice does handle the ball. Yes, he does. And you know what? Because it wasn't the bicep, it was the forearm, it's not a handball. Okay, so this is what you guys have to understand about handballs. Here is okay. Here is not okay.
So what's your issue, though? It was a handball, but there's no issue about the penalty being given.
That's my problem.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
That's my problem.
I forgot about. Hold on.
No, the penalty.
They didn't hear me, bro.
No, the penalty here, right?
Do you think it should have been brought back?
Yes.
No, it shouldn't. It can't be.
No,
it can't be.
That was a handball.
No,
they should have called the handball.
But that's not the rules, but
they're not the rules. We copped it United copped it. We've copped it.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is it's a fucking clean.
It's not a handball. It's a handball.
He has to be the one to score the goal.
Yeah.
If he doesn't score the goal, they can't call it back.
There was another play, which is the penalty, right?
Which is a clear penalty. That is a penalty.
Okay, yeah.
Gabriel
but they can't bring it back. They can't bring it back to the handball because he didn't score.
If he was the one to get the penalty or score, they would have called the handball.
Yeah, because it was a different play.
That's the rule.
Oh, it wasn't a different phase.
Rule, but that's the rule.
It is.
It's a shit
Bro,
rule.
how many times is Rashford this season? There's twice. One against Wolves, one against Everton.
Over the player
he jumps over Pickford. Pickford hits the ball. His arms are here and he hits it, but because he scored, I don't know. It's the stupidest
It's
thing.
a
But
shitty rule.
We copped one against, I think, West Ham last season. Something very similar.
Luke Shaw,
Was it Luke Shaw?
last minute.
Yeah.
But that was a bit out, which is you seen him given.
Yeah.
It was literally like Antonio's one. His hand was out.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
hand
But it was
out.
so close. It was even closer than that. And then De Gea saved that last minute as well
Yes,
to
that's
save
right,
us.
he did too. It
After
was,
Lingard pocketed it in the top
What
corner.
was the guy's name? He was retiring that year. West Ham legend.
Oh, yeah. Mark Noble.
Yeah,
Mark
no,
Noble. He
Yeah, out of
missed
all the,
it, yeah.
it was his last game or something as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
But back to the fucking shambles that was Arsenal. We just got to go back to the fucking shambles.
Steve, would you be talking like this if Saka buries that penalty?
Yes, all day.
You think so? Even
Yeah,
if
because
they take,
because
they take
because
a
no,
3-1
no, no,
lead.
because I've got a penalty. They've got a penalty now, right? I've got Aaron Ramsdale in between the sticks, who can't save a penalty to save his life.
Steve, mate, he's been your number one for almost 2 seasons now.
No. He's our number one. But I'm just saying, I have to look when you got to call it straight. He can't save a penalty to save his life.
We had De Gea in the Europa League final, couldn't save it 1 out of 11.
and then he missed that.
And then he missed
He
one.
missed the one that was like,
Ramsdale can't save a penalty even if I fucking told him where I was going to take the shot. He'd still go the opposite way. Okay?
I think penalties are becoming harder for keepers.
for keepers,
now.
yeah. Can't
they gotta
move,
keep that
can't
foot
do,
on the
can't
s- on the-
hit the
on the
crossbar,
line.
can't shake
Yeah.
the
What about
goal.
near post? Defending your near post. Is that getting harder?
No, yeah, okay.
Is that getting harder?
You're talking about the second goal, yeah?
Because there's two people at fault there. And that's Aaron Ramsdale and fucking KT. That's the same guy I was talking about. I remember him. He can really fucking defend, is it? I've got defenders back here. I've got a left back that's what? Sitting where? Where Zinchenko should be? Oh, he's not covering his man. I thought he was a good defender. Thought he was a great defender. Top notch.
Dude, you could blame
Jared
five
Bowen.
people for that goal.
No. End of the day, you've got a fucking back line. You've got a left back who's supposed to be a left back, right? Who's supposed to be covering his fucking man, right?
Cracking,
Who's so
bro.
fucking far forward, he might as well be the number 8.
Steve, if you can score from 6 yards out and you're blaming one guy.
Dude, you got to cover the man. He's the left back.
Yeah, but also there's centre backs as well.
There's,
other
I
defenders.
understand there's centre backs, but did you see the
That's
amount
what
of
I'm
did you see the amount
Wrecking.
did you see the amount of bodies that were there? The centre backs can only stay tight, side by side. They got to get tight. What do you want them to do? Stretch out.
You got to go to the ball.
And Bowen ain't a slow player. We all know how Bowen moves.
They should have pushed up for the offside trap, mate. They fell asleep.
I think
Tini was the only one that moved up.
Tini was so far forward, he might as well be hanging out with their goalkeeper.
He was told to attack.
Told to attack.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
So unfortunately, Kieran Tini costs us a goal, and Aaron Ramsdale doesn't do us any fucking favors by not being able to fucking
Yeah, but
defend
alright.
his near post.
I think that's unlucky.
Look, two
No, that's what
two
it was.
goals up again.
Yeah.
Last week against Liverpool.
And 40 minutes, and it takes 40 minutes to 45 minutes, and now it's 2-2. That's the average time. So what happens is we score 2 goals, and in about 45 minutes, they'll be up back square 2-2. About 45 minutes. I've checked that out too.
So,
I have no
Arsenal
idea.
doesn't want to play the last 20.
Yeah, I have no idea what this guy's on about.
Now what we
But
do is we score 2 goals, and then within the next 45 minutes, the other team will have scored 2 goals.
I know, but you still got 20 minutes to save the game.
Yeah, and we still don't.
I just think the subs came on very late.
I think the subs are wrong. I think the subs are a fucking joke. We take Jesus
get the
off.
signs out.
No, we take
Get
Jesus.
the banners.
We take Jesus
The
off.
banners are still fresh.
Shut the fuck up. We take Jesus off and we bring Trossard in, right? Now, I don't mind Trossard, but the worst player on the pitch was Bukayo Saka against Liverpool and against West Ham. And it's not because he missed a penalty. Forget the penalty. He
Just
fucked
having an
up.
off game.
He was having an off game. He was having an off game against Liverpool. Now, as a manager, you've got to see this. I know he's your star player, but if he's not having a good game, you take him off. Son didn't play good for Tottenham. He was taken off. This is what needs to happen. But instead, he takes off Jesus, who's fucking scoring goals for fucking fun, right? Who's already scored a goal, who's already hungry to prove something, and puts Trossard on. It didn't make any sense.
I'll ask you another question.
Yes.
But listen to it carefully, right? Because it may sound a little bit.
Hacha, hacha.
Only
Do
fans.
you think
Do I think? No,
that
no.
now Jesus is available and other players are available, that Arteta is finding it hard to pick his right 11? Because I think when he wasn't around, Trossard was getting time. He was impactful. I just think now he's got more options. Do you think he's finding it difficult?
No, I think...
What about your star boy Eddie?
Oh, Eddie was on the bench.
Because now he's not getting any games.
He's unfortunately just came back
This is
from
my
injury.
point, right?
So Eddie's come back from injury. It's
no threat in this
we've
game.
got-
Last
and the
minute.
point that you're trying to make is with Emil Smith-Rowe, with Trossard now, and of course Emil Smith-Rowe hasn't seen too many minutes. Kieran Tierney hasn't seen many minutes. I have a problem with Mikel Arteta and not using the full squad.
This is what I'm trying to say. He's finding it difficult.
I don't think he's finding it difficult. I think he's just happy with his starting 11 and it works. So he's like, this cocktail seems to be working. Let's keep it going.
But it's not working.
Now it's not. Yeah. And unfortunately, he hasn't got a clue when it comes to making a sub.
Yeah, but like we said before, man, it's a double-edged sword for the managers because against Liverpool,
you got to gamble, Borges. Sometimes.
Yeah, but what if that was the gamble? And you're saying
the gamble is to keep Saka on two. He fucked up.
He's a match winner, bro. He could win you the game. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you with in-game management. I do.
His head was down.
No, I do.
He just needs some time off.
I do, but at the same time, it could take that one moment where
Maybe
Saka
it's a penalty. He buries it, and then
where Saka gets you that goal, or it's someone else. That's they took off Partey. But what about Partey's one strike of the ball? He could have been shit all game. All right, they brought in Jorginho.
Jorginho was actually had a good game.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If he scores the winner, like he did against Villa, came off the goalkeeper, whatever, but it was his strike. Then you're like the manager's. He's got it right.
Yeah.
But when the subs come on and they don't get it right, it's the manager got it wrong. It's kind of a double-edged sword. But I know what you're saying with.
Bukayo Saka in this game, would you not agree? Would you not agree that I think Trossard coming in for
would
him
have kept on Martinelli, Jesus.
Yeah.
And Trossard on the right-hand side, he can play on the right.
The thing is, bro, now you're like a draw or a loss, it wasn't going to mean anything in terms of the title, yeah? You're 4 points now. Yes, they got a game in hand. It becomes 1 point. You still got to play them.
Yep.
Yeah, you still got to play them.
So in that game,
even if you're lost, but even if you lost that game, it's still if you lose to them, they're still ahead of you, right? So why not? Okay, he brings on what's his name?
You're saying the 1 point doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. So if it's 2-2, like you said, why don't you keep all these players off? Take off a midfielder, take off Partey, and put in. Another attacker and Ketia, or you keep Jesus, you bring in Trossard, you bring him in, and just go all out attack.
Go for it.
You go for it. You have it's either Trossard or Jesus kind of rotated, give him a bit of a free roll with Saka. You got Martinelli. You got Xhaka that can hold it down. Your defense, I know you've been conceding the last couple of games, but you haven't been to the point where like Holding's been okay.
Holding didn't do anything. He made one mistake in this game, and everyone's throwing him under the bus.
Yeah, okay, but overall, like he's not. They can probably survive.
That's right.
Throw another, and this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I had an issue with Klopp where he takes like for like or positional like for like players and brings them in. Like you brought in Jorginho to win you a game. Maybe to hold possession.
No,
more.
it was because Partey was having such a bad game. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah, I get it. But then
he was having.
Then sacrificed Partey for another striker or another.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what could have been.
But it was an early substitution because Partey was losing control in the midfield. He really was.
You got 5 subs. So later on, them subs with the Trossard and Jesus and all that sort of stuff. It's hard.
It's tough being a manager.
It is.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing to have. Yeah. Okay, it is. And I think for me, I just saw Saka against Liverpool. I saw him in this game. And you know what? Troops actually said it first. He put out a tweet and said, it's time for Saka to come off the bench and come off the field. I think it was in the first half. And I go, you know what? I kind of see what you're talking about. But I'm going to watch him a little bit more because maybe we'll see something. Second half, he was still flat. I go, you know what? That's a good shout. And when Trossard was coming in, I thought it would have been for Saka. But unfortunately, the substitutions were late. I think they were, in my opinion, I'm not a manager. I'm not Mikel Arteta. I'm not good enough to manage Arsenal. But in my opinion, I don't think
the way he's talking.
I don't think that they were the right substitutions. I think Jesus should have stayed on the pitch.
But that's we've had this conversation. We've had this conversation the last couple of weeks. Even the games you've won, there's been issues with in-game management from Mikel Arteta. Now, is the pressure getting to
inexperience?
Yeah, exactly, inexperience. But the pressure of being hunted down by the hunters. Well, you know what I mean. Man City, we've seen them.
I still call Arsenal the favourites, but Borch.
Well, look,
City's playing 3 tournaments. They're playing three competitions at the same time. But it must be feel good to play once a week.
But there you go. They've been playing 1 game a week.
That's what
City's been playing 3, and they're still. It doesn't look like they're slipping up.
I get it, but sorry.
And Sheffield United this weekend.
Yeah.
I guess it's going to be a walkover. For them, it's going to be a training session game. Let's be honest.
I don't disagree
They can
with you.
they can rotate how many players and still dominate.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying I still think Arsenal are the favourites because
I just think now, City.
they found their groove.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly right.
City, look, Arsenal just can't lose to him. Arsenal just can't lose to him. They can draw and it will still be 1 point if they win the game in hand. We always said, I think there might be 2 games in hand after this weekend. Mate, will be 2 games. But then, like
Who's
we always
Arsenal
say,
got this week? Because I know you got some tough ones.
Southampton.
And that's a bogey team for Arsenal. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'll go there.
And
But you've got Newcastle coming up, I think.
Yeah, we got Brighton coming up as well.
is Newcastle at the last game
We
of the
got
season?
Newcastle and Brighton. Still got to play them.
Yeah,
That's not
Chelsea.
that's-
Chelsea.
You got to play Chelsea.
Not worried about Chelsea,
But
bro.
but
Yeah, but they're
City
the
have
ones.
to play
You're not
Brighton
worried
too.
about. You ain't worried about West Ham.
But you know
what I'm saying?
but
Like-
you know what it is like when I look at the
And
moment.
West Ham are beginning hammered, bro.
Yeah, that's true. Look, I'm looking
Pun
at
intended.
I'm looking at our boys at the moment, and it's I'm hammering on Mikel Arteta, and of course the in-game management being an issue. But at the end of the day,
Southampton then City.
This squad needs to take responsibility for what the fuck it put out on that pitch. At the end of the day, it's an 80-20. 80% of this fucking game, 80% of the fault lies on the players, 20% on Mikel Arteta. There's not much a manager can fucking do. He sets them up, he puts them out in the pitch when the players
bro, you
can't
go
put
It's a
them
mental
together.
game too, but it's a mental game.
Of course,
too.
and you have to be big enough, a big boy, to go out there and fucking play football. You're playing West Ham. I know you're playing in the London Stadium, but you're playing West Ham. You're 2-0 up.
If you go get the points against Southampton, that puts you 7 points in front. I know they've got 2 games.
Yeah, but when you play
mentally,
them,
you still got to play those games, right?
yeah.
And your City thinking, City, they're probably elite,
Yeah.
in their mind games. But you still got to think, fuck, we've got to play. Oh, imagine, so you're going to be 7 points in front should you beat Southampton, and then you play City.
Yeah.
Imagine you
Yeah.
play City and you beat City, you're 10 points in front.
I've got to ask a question. That's a good point. But do they play Bayern after us or before us?
They play before.
Before us.
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
they're
one thing.
going to play Sheffield, then
Bayern,
then you guys.
then us. Yeah, and it's 3 days. It's 3 days after that. I think they play us.
Yeah.
That's
With Bayern, they're already 3-0 up. So
You never know. They might go there, get 1-0 up, and then
start
Start
making
subbing.
subs because unless you're scoring
Yeah.
5 against these guys, but you guys got Southampton at home, Fortress, all right, at home, followed by the Manchester City game, and then I think it's Chelsea for Arsenal.
I know you got to play.
Chelsea, yeah, you got Chelsea
Villa? You got
midweek.
Villa as
yeah.
well?
And then
So you got
we got Chelsea. We got Brighton.
You got
We've gotta play
Villa?
Brighton.
Do you get Villa?
No, we're done with Villa.
But see, I don't know if you're playing a midweek, bro, because here Arsenal play this Saturday,
Yep.
right? And then on Thursday you play. So there's no Champions League game. It's semi-final of FA Cup. Arsenal for. Cause it's midweek. It says
Yeah.
the 27th. Unless I got something wrong here, because that's postponed Monday. Arsenal play Southampton. Man City, his game is postponed.
Yep.
And Thursday, bang. So there's no Champions League.
No
for
Champions
him.
League. No.
So that means we're not playing Europe either.
No, because the Europa League's this week.
No, but that's 27th.
Yeah. And this is this week. Because they got FA Cup semi-final, so they're not playing against...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Our Europa is this Friday.
They're going to be coming
You know
in
what I mean?
fresh. They're going to be
So
coming
they're
in
not playing.
Oh, so they're playing Champions League this week.
Oh, yeah, they would be.
fresh. They would be then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
they must
so
be.
yeah.
They must be.
Forgot the days.
We worked it out, guys.
Guys, 1 + 1 = 5.
Got it.
We've done the maths.
We
Quick
got
maths.
a quick maths.
Mikel Arteta, get your tactics right. In-game
The
management.
second recording
We
was
don't even know
like 3
what-
minutes of talking football, 16
We don't
minutes
even-
of trying to figure out who's playing who.
Who's playing who and what day. So they're playing this weekend
Yeah.
for a semi-final. So Sheffield United, get in. You got it. The Blades. Yeah, you're gonna do it.
I told you,
mate.
Sheffield versus fucking Brighton. And
Yeah, I'll take it. And then Arsenal. So Arsenal,
Big game.
there, and then
that's
you
the
guys
title
got.
right there.
Then you have Chelsea. Then you have Chelsea. Then Newcastle. Is that the last game? No, it's
We
not.
still have to play Brighton.
Brighton again,
We have to play
bro.
Brighton.
Your run,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got a tough run. We got Brighton.
But
bro.
they've got a
and then
tough run
Wolves.
too.
Wolves.
They do have a tough run as well because they do have Brighton.
Wolves on the final day, Steve. Brother,
Mate, I'm
Raul
telling you.
Jimenez,
I'm telling
Raul
you.
Jimenez.
it was a good run. It was a good run.
It was good while it lasted.
It was.
I'll
We
be,
put pressure on champions of the world.
I'll be perfectly
Diego
honest.
Costa will
Against,
come back
I'm
too.
not. I
Yeah,
am
he
not
scored
confident
first
against
goal
City.
this week. Fuck
I
with it.
am not confident against City. Not this way. Not the way these guys are playing. They're throwing this season pretty much down the toilet.
It's a big run, bro.
But City have a big
South,
run
it's
too, man.
it is the
They
biggest
do.
must win against Southampton. If they snatch anything, if they get a point,
It's these players. It's the players. They got to wake the fuck up. They either want to win this or they want to fucking just stay at home and play fucking PlayStation.
play PlayStation, boys.
You know what I mean? You got to figure out what
Unless
you got.
Sheffield
At
win.
the end of the day,
Unless Bayern does a 4-0, everyone's happy.
at the end of the day, at the end of the day,
Imagine that.
at the end of the day,
Sadio
Mane's not
Mane,
playing.
Mane, and then Sane, mate.
Sane's not playing. Sadio Mane is
Then
not
they'll stop
playing.
fighting with each other.
Mane's quit. He's done. He's finished. He's going to come to Arsenal.
Is he done? I thought Sane was going to come. Arsenal fans editing Sane in your kit for a couple of seasons now.
I'll take one Sane and one Mane and a Yuri Tielemans and a Castagna. I'll take Declan Rice. I'll take them all, bruh.
This guy doesn't rate his own team.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's about depth, bro. You know, it's about depth. You know, they were talking about Tottenham
Why?
depth.
You're playing
I want
one.
depth.
You're playing one game a week.
That's
Take
right,
it,
bro.
yeah.
I need it, bro. Look what happened.
Because they had, you know why?
I need to change everything.
You know why they were saying, Kev, out of all competitions, we had bigger fish to fry.
That's
This is the only fish left now, boys.
Unfortunately, that was
The only fish.
That was a lot of other Arsenal fans, except for this one.
We did a similar thing with them a couple of years ago with Liverpool.
Other fish.
I'm gonna put the question out there, Steve.
Yep.
So no cup competitions, and if you finish second to City, successful season or not?
1 point as well. Goal difference. Let's
Successful?
Is it a successful season or not?
No, I didn't win anything. What's success?
Okay.
You fucking what's well? I made Champions League. I was going to make Champions League anyway. If I was saying we're going to finish fourth, I wanted Europa League. I wanted a trophy. It's not about fucking winning, getting into Champions League. Yay, I made it. I don't give a fuck about that. I need silverware.
Okay, you heard it. You
It's
heard
about
it.
silverware. And
Yeah.
look, teams are judged on silverware. They're not judged on making it into a competition that they might win. Fuck that, bro.
But were you gonna say, I don't know if we got receipts, but were you saying the same thing at
He
the
said-
start of the
I
season?
said I want fourth Champions League and I want Europa League. I want the Europa League in my pocket.
you didn't
I want
get
the trophy. I didn't get it, so it's a failure.
Okay.
Unless I win the Premier League, it's a failure of a season.
Fair enough.